Hello again guys, and welcome to another video review on our Optics Straight YouTube channel. As you can see, today we'll be reviewing a product from Vortex. Here is a brand new Vortex Viper, and this one is PST Gen 2, so second generation, 5 to 25 by 50, the second focal plane. As you all know, the Vortex company is headquartered in USA, but are also manufacturing, of course, mostly are manufacturing their products in Japan, China, and Philippines. During our previous Vortex reviews, we named this company as one of the fastest development-centered companies in the expertise of sport optics in the world. If we go to the Vortex Viper PST Generation 2 series, the series of its own is not new. But the Generation 2 models are generally new. These are 1 to 6 by 24, 2 to 10 by 32, 3 to 15 by 44, second focal plane and both first focal plane. And this rifle scope which we have here, 5 to 25 by 50. First focal plane and second focal plane, which is this rifle scope we have here. This series of rifle scopes are much more advanced and improved than the Generation 1 rifle scopes from this series. In general, you will see that our model here, 5 to 25 by 50 second focal plane, is a model to be reckoned with in terms of many characteristics we will name in the continuation of our review. If you just go to the physical properties of this rifle scope, as you can see, it's very long. I think it's about 400 millimeters long and very heavy, with 890 grams approximately, which is of course very heavy for a rifle scope with 30 tube diameter. As you can see, it also features matte black color. The tube diameter, as we mentioned, is 30 millimeters, and as you can see, it's designed with a side focus parallax wheel, which goes from the 25 yards up to infinity. But more about this will be presented in the continuation. In general, rifle scope is suitable for both medium and medium and long range true tactical shooting. As we can see, the rifle scope is very long, quite heavy actually for the rifle scope of a tactical caliber, we can say. And what is also a plus of its own, we can see it's made entirely, if you look at it again, we can see it's entirely made out of metal, which is a really nice addition for someone who is looking to have a very robust rifle scope. The zoom range of this rifle scope is of course 5 to 25 with a 5 times zoom factor and 50 millimeters of lens diameter. This is approximately 58.5 millimeters of other objective diameter. Field of view is 1.5 meters on 100 meters at the lowest magnification, and at the highest magnification 7.3 meters on 100 meters. The rifle scope also features 86 millimeters of eye relief. Basically, in terms of optical properties, there is no tunnel effect at any magnification settings. Rifle scope can withstand higher calibers without a problem due to its robust design. As we can see, the rifle scope is perched. Rifle scope's interior is perched with nitrogen. As we can see here, it's made in the Philippines, and Vortex offers 10 years of warranty for this product. In terms of optical properties, we can say that this rifle scope is the best buy at the moment. It offers astonishing optical performance in this price class. If we continue our review and go directly to reticle, as we mentioned, this rifle scope's reticle is in the second focal plane. At the moment, only one reticle is available, which is this one, EBR4MY reticle. This is of course purely tactical reticle. As we can see, the rifle scope also features illumination control system. As you can see, it's designed on this left turret knob. As you can see, here is the parallax setting, which we previously mentioned, which goes from the 25 meters up to infinity. And a bit more left, to be more precise, here we can see here is a illumination control system knob. As you can see, basically we can say that illumination is finely adjustable. It's usable in daytime. Of course, also when using the PST second focal plane rifle scope with the second focal plane reticle of this series, so this one, it's very important to understand that the reticle subtensions in the manual are only correct at the scope's highest magnification, that's at 25 meters. You can see the reticle subtensions in the manual here, which is the EBR for second focal plane MOA reticle, and you can read more about the reticle subtensions for this rifle scope there. The design of the reticle stands the same as the reticle of the Vortex Razor rifle scopes. The reticle doesn't have an illuminated central dot, which is a bit of a downside of this reticle, but nonetheless, the reticle in the middle, the reticle is thin enough so that it doesn't cover the target. For example, if that's on 100 meters, on 500 meters, etc., it actually doesn't diminish the optical viewing performance observing the target of this rifle scope. Of course, as you can see, rifle scope is designed with tactical turrets. If you look at it again, as you can see, it features quarter MOA of click value. That's 7 millimeters on 100 meters. Turrets are multi-turn type. We can see it's also designed, if we click it, I'm sorry for this noise, but just to check the turn indicator. As we can see, perhaps you can see it a bit worse. You can see it also features a simple turn indicator, which is marked with a line, with lines and numbers. So for 0, 1, 2, and maximum turn. The turn indicator. Regarding the turn indicator, it's not the best. It's of course not the best buy in terms of turn indicator, but in this price class, I think this is to be expected for a rifle scope of this price class. The total travel is 70 MOA for elevation and 35 MOA for windage. Also, 25 MOA travel in one turn is the turn which this rifle scope is featured. There are no locking turrets, no locking function on the turrets, which is of course also not expected for a rifle scope in this price class. But however, it has, if we go back to 0, it has a true 0 stop, which is also a big, as you can see, it stocks at 0, which is also a big advantage for this rifle scope. Generally, turrets are nicely usable. I think, as you heard, they are audible enough. Feel of the click is okay, but it deviates from the clicks of the generation 1 Viper PST rifle scopes. It's a bit different. Additionally, the turrets have some diversity in terms of feel of each click if comparing it to windage and elevation turret. This basically means that the feel of the click on the windage turret is a bit more different than on the elevation turret, and vice versa. Overall, the turrets are very good. The overall design is much. It's also worth mentioning that the overall design of the turrets is much better than on the previous PST series. So if we go through the pluses of these rifle scopes, or advantages if you might like it, the better design on the turrets than the past rifle scopes, basically quite much of elevation in this price class, With a 20 MOA inclination, you can easily get to 1000 meters with a 308 caliber, so this is really plus. The rifle scope is more ergonomical than the one from the first generation. As we mentioned, this is the best buy in this price class and perhaps even beyond. It has a good field of view, and as we can see, very stiff, very nicely usable fast focus. We also mentioned that the rifle scope is purely designed out of metal, which is, I would say, perfect to be used on a rifle with a more higher or stronger caliber. It also has zero stop, as we mentioned, which is good. The zero stop, we have to elaborate on this matter a bit. The zero stop is more sophisticated than on the previous series, on the Generation 1 series, where you had to install the CRS shims, as the Vortex named them, first, and then you could achieve the effect of zero stop. This rifle scope, as we mentioned, doesn't have this system. It has a more sophisticated zero stop system, so we think this truly is, we can say, better and more advanced from Vortex. Additionally, we can see this optical fiber here. This optical fiber is very good, especially if you want to know where your clicks are in low light conditions. We also said that the illumination system, or the illumination itself, is very finely adjustable. This is also a very nice addition for this rifle scope. And generally the reticle is very good, the tactical reticle. In the middle, the reticle is thinner than in the corners, which is good, but not as good if only a dot would be finely adjustable, but good enough. Also the eye box of the rifle scope is we think very good for this price class. So this is for advantages. If we go to the minuses or disadvantages for this rifle scope, as we mentioned, if we go to the turrets, the clicks have some diversity from the past series. Also, illumination knob is a bit harder to use than the parallax wheel. As we can see, the parallax wheel is basically quite comfortably usable, which is not the case with the illumination knob. This is, I would say, the most hard to use if you have some gloves, or it's basically very easy, quite easy to use with bare hands. But if you have gloves, I think it's a bit more complicated than that. Additionally, it would be a bit more better if the illumination turret would be a bit more protruding, so you would have a bit more space to manipulate the turret more effectively. We also mentioned the turn indicator. The turn indicator is good, it's good in broad daylight, we can say, and not so good in low light, because you have no idea where your clicks are, so it's really hard to guess it. Additionally, we mentioned the length. The length of this rifle scope is really long, more than the past Generation 1 series, and additionally very heavy, as we mentioned at the start of our review. Quite heavy for 30mm tube, we can say. Overall, we are looking at one of the best rifle scopes in the following configuration in this price class at the moment. So if you're looking for a true tactical rifle scope with 5 to 25 by 50 configuration, we think that this rifle scope is the best buy in the following price class. As you can see, the rifle scope also comes supplied with a variety of accessories. Here we have a sunshade, lens covers, lens cleaning cloth. We also have a test certificate, CR2032 battery, Allen key. As we can see, it also features the manual for the rifle scope and both the manual for the reticle subtensions. This is all for this review for today. If you have any additional questions, feel free to write a comment on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care, until next time.